Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Sunday, guys. Hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. So I figured I would jump on really quickly. I was listening to Pastor R.C. Blake's this morning on leveling up. So I got so many nuggets. I figured I would jump on really quickly and share them with you guys. So guys, I'm going to jump right in. Some of you know that God is calling you higher, in different areas. He wants to increase your platform. He wants to give you that business. He wants to give you a healthy, wholesome marriage, kingdom partners. He wants to do this and do that, right? So you have all these downloads that God has told you he wants to do. You're ready for them. You're not the people who know that God is calling them higher. And higher, again, doesn't mean in the pulpit all the time. So you know God is calling you higher, but you run from it because you don't feel worthy. You run from it because you're fearful. You run from it because you don't have the confidence and you just don't feel like you can do it. But then there's a group of people who know that God is calling them higher and they want it, but they just don't know where to start. So I want to talk to the individuals. Of course, this is not for everyone because some people literally grew up in those areas and had people around you who had already had like that level up mindset. So you probably got some things that were downloaded into you very, very early. So you naturally just have that level up mindset. But don't get stuck there now because there's levels and levels and levels and levels. The sky is the limit. So you want to always be teachable, always be, in a position where if God says next level, you're ready to move and you're ready to learn all over again, right? So to those of you who feel like you're stuck and it's like when you look around, everything around you is just that conditioning mindset, everything you saw when you was a child, everything is still the same. Everyone is still robbing Peter to pay Paul. Everyone is still in toxic relationships. Everyone is still, working at well, let me leave that alone. But you just want more. You just want more. And it's like, where is the more? How do I even get there? Well, first you're going to have to start with changing your mindset, meaning you understand, well, your perspective. You understand that there's more. You know there's more. You feel it. You just know there's more, especially my chosen ones. Again, very early on, we always knew there was more. And wherever we were at that time, we didn't know what the more was, but we knew it was more and we wanted more, right? So for those of you who already feel that, you're going to have to literally ask God to step in. You're going to have to ask God to give you grace, whatever that area of struggle is for you. Let's just say, that God, I'm going to use this for example. God is calling you higher in the sense of he's ready to give you a kingdom partner, a kingdom spouse. But every single relationship in your family, your friends, everyone is in toxic marriages, toxic relationships. I mean, they're miserable. You've never seen an example of a happy marriage. You have to literally ask God for grace. God, can you please expose me to healthy relationships? Can you please expose me to people who have happy marriages? He will put it right in your face. Literally. God, my area of struggle is what it could be confidence, self-esteem. Can you please put me around people or in environments with people who have confidence and self-esteem? Again, that will never be 100%. People are perfect, none of that, but just confidence where wherever he's calling you, you will have the confidence to step out on faith. So whatever area that you're struggling in, is it business? Is it home ownership? Ask him. We have not because we ask not. We just assume because God says he wants to give us more. We assume that we can just sit there and do absolutely nothing. And because we pray on it, God releases it. We have a part to play. We have a part to play. And it starts with asking for grace to do certain things. This is why a lot of times, again, the higher you go, you start to lose people and lose things because, again, most of that stuff is conditioning. Yes, you love them. No, you don't abandon them. You're still there. You're still friends. But to go higher, a lot of stuff will fall off because you only know, or we only know what we grew up around. So it's so difficult when you go from level to level because one level you think like, okay, I've mastered this level. So you think but you didn't master that level because you don't even realize that there's another level until you get to the end of one level. So you think you're good. Okay, God have given you that business now, right? God have given you that happy marriage now. So you figure you've quote unquote, you've made it. And then a year later, God is tapping on your spirit like, hey, I need you to take that business and expand it. I need you to take your experience now from your happy marriages and go tell the world about it so other people can know that happy marriages do exist, right? So it's level to level. So if you yourself don't already have that drive to say, all right, let me start reaching out to people who can help me. These can be mentors, because even every mentor needs a mentor. These can be a mentor. These can just be people that you start to try to connect with and listen to. Because again, one thing I've learned is that a lot of people, when you are aligned properly and you have no ulterior motives, a lot of people will be so willing to help you because they were once where you were. So they know exactly what it felt like. They know what you're going through, but you have to be teachable. Well, a lot of people go wrong at is God will place somebody in your life to take your hand and help you. And it's like conditioning will have you literally going back and forth with the individuals who are already at that level because we think we know everything, because we don't know again what all is at the next level where someone else has already mastered that level. And here conditioning and brokenness got us sitting here wanting to fuss with people and go back and forth. Well, no, I don't think that's the way. Hush your mouth. And that's coming from a person who have a big mouth, right? Hush your mouth so you can be teachable, because anybody who wants to really teach you, first of all, their time is already limited. So if you're sitting here causing ruckus, nobody got time for that. So you, listen, go ahead, bump your head a few times. Go figure it out yourself. Because I'm not going to be sitting here wasting my time going back and forth with you, and you're not even willing to listen. It's crazy. It's crazy on how we, all of us, everybody think we know everything, and we don't even know how to just hush up and be teachable so we can hear what the Spirit is truly saying. Even if you don't agree with it, just listen, because you can always, when you leave, you go back, you take it in prayer, and you ask God to reveal, certain things for you. Certain things you may have to figure it out. But just listen, take your notes, listen, close your mouth, honor and respect the people that God has placed in your life to help you. One of you guys, I can't remember which recording it was on, but one of you guys said in the comment section how God was bringing like healthy people around you. I don't know if it was like relationships or whatever, but God was bringing healthy people around you, and you found yourself literally ducking and dodging and running from the healthy people because you felt like the healthy people really wanted something from you. It's like, what do you want? And it's truly conditioning. You're used to living in survivor mode. You're used to people hurting you. You're used to toxic people. You're used to people using you and all this stuff, right? That's your default setting. That's all you've known. You're comfortable in that trauma and nonsense. So now when God brings somebody to you who is not going to argue with you, just going to walk away from you, who is willing to sit down with you and converse accordingly and properly, right? Who is not sitting here blowing your phone up, who is not sitting here doing everything that you experience in your past toxic relationships or marriages. Now you're looking at this thing like this person really wants something from you. If that ain't conditioning, what is that? You got wholesome, pure individuals that you know without a doubt God have sent to help you. And we run from that thinking they want something, but we run back to the people that we know. If that is not conditioning, what is? This is why healing is hard, because you will have to separate from that stuff. You will have to sit idle to learn that that was never the way it was supposed to be. And once you heal and God shows you and expose you to what it was supposed to always be, you will then realize that the healthy relationships, the wholesome relationships, the one who truly supports you, relationships. It was always meant to be. So then you look back on the default setting of the toxic people and be like, how did I ever give you the time of day? How did I ever give you a second chance to play with me all kind of way? Right? So this is why healing hurts, because you have to be intentional. You have to be intentional. And sometimes being intentional is not easy because it requires you to do things that you're not comfortable with. But the more and more and more you do it, of course, God gives you grace, and then it makes it so much easier. And then you have arrived to your level of healing. You cannot heal in the same environment that traumatized you. So when you got people who are still sweeping things under the rug because, let's say, a grand uncle who was 94 molested all the girls and boys in the family, but family and blood is telling you that you can't speak about it, you can't, which is do whatever works for you. But conditioning will make you think that you have to still stay in the house and help take care, wash, clean, feed the same individual. For some people, that may work. Maybe some people have forgave, healed completely where it no longer affects them. But a lot of times, you can't be forced into an environment where someone has traumatized you or something has traumatized you and expect to heal in that same environment. So it's crucial, again, to understand that you have to be intentional about pulling yourself from people, pulling yourself from environment, as uncomfortable as it is. Like a young lady, when I made the recording about taking yourself out, and she said in the comment section, like, she knows that's something she have to do, start taking herself out, being exposed to upper echelon and things like that. And she was like, it's going to be hard. Yes, anything you do for the first time is going to be hard. But you got to step out. You got to try it. You know you want to start this business. Start going to networking events where everybody doesn't have to look like you. That's conditioning. Start traveling for your networking events. You have to literally challenge yourself. And again, conditioning has made that difficult for some people, because when you're conditioned, again, you don't even feel like you're worthy of better. You don't even know that there's more. So you have to do your research. For those of you who are starting certain businesses and things like that, or, God is calling you out, go online and type in, what can be something pop in my head? Let's say motivational speaking. Go online and start typing in motivational speaking in Las Vegas, motivational speaking in Los Angeles, motivational speaking in, just type in wherever, not in your hometown, because you probably already know about what's going on there. Type it in, catch you a bus, ride your bicycle, catch you a flight to that place, attend those meetings. Those meetings will then give you access to more people. And then some of these people may have been doing it way longer than you, and you're studying them. You're getting nuggets. So when you come back to your home, when you put your next event together, it's just not everybody in your neighborhood. You got people who will then reciprocate that loyalty and that respect and fly down for your event. We are so conditioned to think everything we do has to be the people we know, the people around us. Again, I stand firm on telling you, the majority of the people you think are going to support you will not support you. I've lived that life thinking that you had to go back and give. It's good to go back and give, but when you go back and give and you realize these people still refuse to support you, they're not your audience. They're not your audience. That's conditioning. When you step out on faith and you ask God to guide you and lead you to whatever direction He wants you to go, He will take you to your audience. These people will support you. Many of them will not look like you. Many of them will be complete strangers, but they're ordained to help you. We got to get out of this conditioning mindset. We have to get out of the conditioning mindset. So please invest in yourself in whatever way that is for you. If that means for you to invest in being determined to watch 5 hours of YouTube recordings from someone who inspires you, or whatever area it is that whatever you're trying to do. Once you tap into the individuals on YouTube or Google who do that, invest your time. You may can't go to the club. You may can't go on that date this week. Invest your time. Invest in yourself. So not having the money anymore is no excuses. We have too much access. So it's about changing your perspective. Well, first, it's about recognizing that where you are and what you see ain't it. That ain't it. That ain't it. Can't be it. Because I'm looking around and everybody else is, having a much more successful life over here. So this ain't it. So God, what's the first thing that I do? Well, great. You recognize it. Now that you've recognized it, you now ask me to step in. But God, can you please give me wisdom? Can you give me grace in this area? Show me how to move. Can you align me with the proper people? Well, I'll be happy to. I'm just waiting on you to ask, my child. And when he do, listen, he's going to require you to do some things. You can be like, I don't. So either you're going to be fearless and do what he's asking you to do. If that means separating from certain people, if that means throwing you out to the wolves to kind of get you past like this level of being fearful with public speaking, whatever he requires you to do, you have a choice. Either you're going to do it or you're going to allow fear to paralyze you. You will not ever reach a level where you're not afraid to do it. You will always be afraid to do it. Again, you have to step into the fear while you're fearful, trembling and all, sweaty palms and all. You have to step into it. Whatever you do, this is my key when you got to step into something like that and you're all fearful. Stay filled up in the spirit. I don't care what's going on around you. You stay filled up in the spirit. Put in your earplugs. Stay filled up in the spirit. Stay filled up in the spirit. You can't see nothing else. You can't see it. You can't hear nothing else. It can be 1,000 people around you. You're separated from that. Stay filled up in the spirit. Do whatever you got to do. And before you know it, when you step into that thing, fearful and all, because you're filled up in the spirit, that's what will come out of your mouth. So it's not easy. It's completely different from what many people were taught. But again, I ask, how bad do you want it? It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.